Hello and welcome to Gary's Corner once more. Got a slightly different one for you this time. As you know, I've been doing a lot of boat videos lately, and obviously that's because I've been working on my boat, trying to do it up. Progress is going okay. Still, I suppose I'm about possibly halfway, I suppose. But I've done the sort of nitty gritty stuff, and it's starting to do the better work now, really. I will be doing a video. It's just I've been so busy. I literally go over. I do probably 3-4 hours, come back, and to be honest, I'm absolutely knackered. So I really don't feel like making videos. But I've been taking lots of photos and keeping up to date with the progress. So I for those that are following the boat, I will do one very shortly. But this time I was trying to think of something I could still do that I enjoy from a wheelchair. That's not easy, really. But one thing I've always loved is photography, and I've had various cameras back in the day. I think my first camera was an Olympus OM1, I think it was, and if I can find a picture I'll put one up. And yeah, I loved that camera. I mean, it was obviously a 35mm film camera. I can remember I had I think it was a 28mm Carl Zeiss lens, and then I had a 200mm lens as well, which I used to use for wildlife and stuff. And back in the day, you would shoot your 36 exposures, and then if you weren't lucky enough to develop them yourself, you would either take them into the chemist or a photographic shop that done developing, or you'd send them off. I can't remember the names of the companies. I think one was called True Print, and they would develop your films. You'd get the 36 photos back, so 7x5 or 5x5, whatever they were, I can't remember. And you'd get your photos, you'd get your negatives back, and you'd sort of wait in the post anticipating, and generally most of them were crap, but you might get a few good photos. And then I started getting into portrait and landscape photography, and I was doing alright then, and I bought myself a Bronica ETRS, I think it was called, which was a medium format camera, used a 120 film, and it was a lovely camera. I mean, it was big, it was bulky, but it took absolutely stunning photos, especially when it came to landscapes and close-up work, portraitures, stuff like that. That was a really nice camera. And then on and off over the years, I've had just point and go cameras. I've had a Sony bridge camera, which was okay. Wasn't great, but it had a reasonable lens on it. And just, I suppose, the last year or so, really, I've just sort of been getting back into taking photos. Now, the only problem with that is obviously it's a lot easier, not easier to take photos, but it's a lot easier to see a photo now. You know, you can look on the back of the camera on the screen, or wait till you get back home and you plug them into Lightroom or Photoshop, whatever, and away you go. And you know, yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Which makes it even more appealing, really, because it allows you, I mean, to do a lot more creative stuff. I mean, back in the day, we'd have to get under the bedclothes and take the film out of the camera and put it into its developing tank, and then we'd have to develop the negatives, and then we'd have to go into our makeshift darkroom, which was normally a cupboard or something, and have a little red light in there, and in we'd go with the enlarger. I think I had was a Durst or a Hurst, I can't remember, one of them, and yeah, that was great fun. You know, you'd have fun burning in and creating shadows and whatever as you develop the picture, and it was creative, and I used to enjoy that side just as much. But now I must admit, you know, I've been using Photoshop for probably 5 years now. Still don't know half of it. And the Lightroom I've only really been using probably the last year. But the camera I'm using at the moment, which I'll show you, which is this Lumix, I don't know if you can see that very well. There you go. It's a Lumix FZ330 bridge camera. And I'll put that picture up here somewhere. And originally I bought this when I started to create my YouTube channel, which you're watching this on, hopefully. It had 4K. It was a reasonable camera for what I wanted. I wasn't even thinking about stills. It was, you know, purely bought for an economical 4K camera. Didn't have a lot of money, and it fitted the bill. Simple as that, really. Now, what's it like to take pictures? Well, what's the right terminology? No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all, actually. The lens on it is 25 to 600. And that's, you know, that's a good thing, and I think on video it's something that it's digitally zoomed to about 3000, which is good for filming the moon and things like that. The menu system is pants. I mean, it takes so long to order anything. It's ridiculous. Even in manual mode, you've got to do this lever to change that, then you've got to twist the mode to speed and change that, and it's just all so long-winded. I can remember on the Olympus, you just, you know, if you had 100 ISO film, you'd set your ISO to 100, you'd set your film speed, you'd look in your light meter and make sure you weren't peaking, and away you went. This is just ridiculous, absolutely stupid. And when you've got the, you know, when you're using the telephoto lens, well, you can almost hear it breathing. It breathes that bad. It almost, when you look through the viewfinder, it almost sort of hypnotises you, and it's sort of where it's pulsing. It's sort of, so yeah, it's not great, but it's all I've got. Sometimes you can get some reasonable images, and I will show you a few in just a while. So I'm trying to save up the little pennies I have spare at the end of each month, and I've been looking at various cameras and doing what probably all of us do, is watch YouTube reviews and different camera shows, different opinions, different settings, all that jargon. And to be honest, I don't take a lot of notice. But what I have noticed that does bother me a little bit is most of the mirrorless cameras, you know, like the R6, R5, or even the new R3, the Nikon Z6, Z7, you know, and especially the Sonys, they're all so small. I like a big camera, something, you know, something I can hold, and you know, it's there. I've got big hands, you know, I need something I can grip. So that's, you know, a little bit concerning for me. So I've been looking at the digital DSLRs, and I think I've narrowed it down, well, possibly to 3. I would love the D850, but I think that's just going to be way out my price league. You know, you're looking at probably 2,500 for the camera, at least. You've got to spend £1,000 on a decent lens. Say you're looking at sort of 3,500 just to get started, and then if you want to start adding battery grips and, you know, telephoto lenses, it gets pretty expensive. I've also looked at the D5. Now, the only thing the price is nice, and that's hopefully reachable. I think it's about 1,300, somewhere around that. But the only slight doubt I have that is with its being a cropped sensor. I would like a full sensor. I mean, the more light you can get in the camera, the bigger the area to receive that light. You know, the better the photo you're going to get. That's the way I look at it. I know they're a brilliant camera. I know that, and it can have some advantages. You know, especially when you're putting telephoto lenses on, and you know, you can times it by, I think it's 1.5, something like that. Yeah, and it gives you a better, more powerful lens, and in some ways that's good. But I do like to play about with images and crop images and whatever, so I'm thinking the more pixels I can get, the better. Now the D850 I think is 47 million pixels, and I think it's 155 cross hatches or something, focus points, which sounds all very good. Never used a camera like that before, and I'm sure if I bought one it was going to take me a while to get used to it. However, I just can't go to that sort of dough, I don't think. So I have also thought of possibly buying a second-hand D850, but they're still quite up there in the money. You know, ones with sort of, you know, 60,000-80,000 shutter clicks. I'm sure they're going for a lot further, but there's always that doubt in your mind, and especially if it's only going to be your one and only camera. Then the last thing you want is if you buy a second-hand camera and it starts to go wrong. I've even thought about the Nikon D810 and buying one of those second-hand. That's a full frame sensor, and it's a bit more obtainable, sort of between 800 and £1,000, which is probably the direction I think I'm going to head, if I can find one, obviously, when I've got the money. So that's my thoughts. So like as usual with my channel, I just share with you what I'm doing at this particular moment. There's no formulation to the channel as such. It's not, we do this on this channel and that's it. It's whatever I fancy, basically. And at the moment it's back into photography, and I think, you know, there's going to be a lot more on the channel, and certainly if I get a new camera I'll go through that with you and share that. But anyway, I'll leave you with a few images that I've taken, and I hope you enjoy. They're only, you know, local images, because obviously it's hard. Yeah, being in the wheelchair, I can only get to where I can get. So, you know, it's to my local environment, should we say. But I'll share these pictures. Hope you like them, and if you do, give it a thumbs up for me, and ring that bell and subscribe. That'd be nice. I could do with a few more. But no, on a serious note, anyway, I'll leave you with some pictures, and we'll speak soon. Bye now.